So today is Monday, it's not Wednesday today, and Amy's here again. Hi! I was gonna wave and then you didn't. Your little hand just went. I said to Amy, like, someone needs to make all the gifs of when I turn the camera on Amy because she always thinks she looks so awkward, like. So today is one of our last meetings because our deadline is this week.
Yeah. But
we are so nearly done. I'm gonna flip the screen down so I don't look at myself. Basically last night I wrote the last couple of chapters and it was very emotional. I'm not gonna say which kind of emotion. Everyone was like, was it happy or sad? I'm like, you'll have to find out. That's the whole point. So we're now basically going through it from start to finish.
Yeah, so I was reading everything that Zoe wrote last night and going through it, and it was so good. Oh my god, I can't wait for you guys to read it.
I know.
So good.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's very emotional, but it was so exciting to read the final line that you wrote last night.
I know, but then I was saying to Amy, like, I feel like the final line of the book. Is it the
right last line?
Yeah, is it, what was the word you used again? Poignant. Poignant. Is it poignant enough? So we're like double checking because I was like, I'm not sure. That for me, that was like the hardest bit. It was like the last sentence because that's literally the lasting impression of the book. It's like that's the end. Even changed like quite big things in it.
Huge.
Like we've gone through and been like, this doesn't work, so we're changing it.
But you can't work with a blank page. You just have to get the words down, finish the book. We got 80,000 words. So it's amazing.
High five.
High five.
Yes.
So yeah, we're almost there, but now we just gotta make sure that
fine tune it.
Smooth it all out, fine tune it. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, and one of my little things that I kept doing was talking in past tense.
Yes.
And then I do that a lot.
And then in present tense, yes, a lot. But that's okay.
I make Amy's life so hard. It's like 1 minute I'm in present tense, then I'm in past tense, and it's only when you go, oh, you've done this again here, I'm like, oh my god, I have.
That's okay. I use the word just all the time.
I use and.
And
just. I was also going back through the first part that we did, and I realised I always make Noah say, was it kinda?
Oh, kinda. You know?
You know?
You know?
You know? Because it always underlines in red, and I'm like, oh, what have I done wrong? And I'm like, yeah, but he's American. Like, that's Noah.
Yeah.
For a lot of people who don't understand what an editor does, can you explain in a short paragraph/sentence while Nala is squeaking a toy behind you what it is that you do as an editor?
Yeah, well, I guess as an editor I work with authors, so I read people's books, go through them and help make them the best book that they can be, and suggest changes, make suggestions, and then we work on it together to try
or change my tenses,
or change the tenses,
remove my ands.
Yes, remove the ands, check all the commas and the full stops and all the grammar's in the right place, but also we have proofreaders who help with that too.
Oh yeah, so after this stage, what happens next? So it goes to...
Yes, after this stage it will go to a copy editor, and they're the ones who kind of so I'm as Zoe's editor, I work on the big structural things, so characters, plot,
making sure it all actually reads well.
Making sure it all makes sense. And then it will go on from there to a copy editor who makes sure that it all is like continuous, so we don't do things, make silly mistakes like it's morning and then it's nighttime, or it's raining and then all of a sudden
everyone's out in their summer dresses.
Outside. Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that I don't think about too much until like when we started doing this, and you were like, oh, there have been a few times where I've said like, oh, good night, and then the next minute you're like, it's like outside, and it's sunny, and then I start thinking about things like that way more. Or
like something like if we say, oh, and then they took the train to London, but we tell them it takes 3 hours, but you know it takes 50 minutes. Like, check stuff like that and make sure that all of that is correct, so someone can't say, we know that the train to Brighton only takes 50 minutes. Stuff like that.
And also, because Elliot is living Wikipedia, we do add in a lot more things that people have to make sure actually are real.
Definitely. So that's all that. And then after that part, it will get put into like book pages form, and someone will read it really closely for grammatical mistakes and typos.
When you said last time that some proofreaders will read the book backwards, so they don't get into the story, so they can actually see any of the grammatical erers. I was like, I found that so interesting.
Yeah, and I can't do that kind of stuff. I'm like so much more big picture. I can't focus on the detail. It drives me nuts.
We're all about the big stuff.
All about the big stuff. Yeah.
And then after the type the proofreaders.
Yeah, it'll go off to print.
And then it might be in your hands.
And then it might be in your hands.
October. I'm so excited.
Yeah, and then very soon you'll get to see the cover and everything too. All that to come, oh my god.
I know.
But for now,
first draft is pretty much
another high five.
Done. Yeah! How long has this taken us? When did we start? January.
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's pretty good.
I'm very happy with it as well, like super happy with it. I think it's gone really well, if I say so myself.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really funny, I was talking to, I think it was Alfie's mum, when we were on holiday, and I was like, it's really weird because it's like, after the first book, you've got people that are actually fully invested in the storyline and in the characters, so you have to be careful how you make it go, because obviously I have like so much power over what could happen. I could kill off like 3 of the characters, like I could do anything. Obviously,
don't worry, it's not Game of Thrones.
It's not Game of Thrones or Hunger Games, it's nothing like that, but it is like scary to write the second book with so many people already invested in the first one.
Yeah,
like,
well that's why we're taking so much time to make sure that it's really, really good and destroying Zoe's cups.
Earlier on today we always get to a point, because we work so solidly and just stare at words for so long, we get a little bit like giddy and a bit delirious. We somehow got onto listening to piano covers, and then we started singing lyrics over the piano covers and changed them to Girl Online lyrics.
Yeah.
And then we were like, yeah, we
about Noah and Penny.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll release those for you. But that's when you know it's lunchtime, basically. But yeah, so this is pretty much our last proper
book one. Yeah,
proper
after
book
this
meeting.
It'll all be, as you said,
out of our hands.
Out of our hands, looking at the copy editor notes and going through them.
I feel like that's the scary part. What if the copy editor's like, what is this? What have you done?
They won't. They're gonna love it, honestly. Everyone's gonna love it. It's so good.
And then it's the scary part where everyone else reads it.
Yes, yeah. That's always scary.
Yeah. That is scary.
I've got that happening.
Oh, Amy's book is out next week. This week, Thursday. So not only is Amy an editor, she also is an author.
Yeah.
So do you have an editor for your books?
I do.
See, that's how it works.
Yeah. Every author has an editor that's been published. Someone who has read their book and loves it just as much as they do, works with them to make it like the best thing.
Exactly. And actually sometimes it's quite nice to have another set of eyes on something, because if you get so invested in it, and it isn't, I don't know, like sometimes I think I could sit and write and then I'd be like, what have I just written?
Well, that's a question I get asked a lot. They're sort of like, you're an editor, can't you edit your own book? It's like, no, there's no way I could edit my own book because I'm too close to it.
Yeah.
You just can't see the mistakes or the problems with it. You just think like, oh,
this is great.
Yeah. This is awesome. And then you're like, oh no.
It's all very exciting. I can't wait.